time AM, PM versus 24-hour clock. Either say 1 AM, 2 PM, 3 AM, 3 PM, 4 AM, 4 PM, like that, right? What is AM and what is PM? When you see railway clocks, time, it will say in 24 hours, like 22 hours, 23 hours, like that. That is called 24-hour clock, okay? Train timings won't be in AM, PM, it would be in 24-hour clock. It would be 23 hours, 24 hours, or 3 hours, 12 hours, 13 hours, like that. Normally, the time is shown how? Hours, then colon, this is colon. What is between hours and minutes? Okay, then the minutes. There are 24 hours in a day. How many hours are there in a day? 24 hours in a day. How many minutes in an hour? Yeah, there are 60 minutes in each hour. How many minutes are there? 60 minutes. How many hours make a day? 24 hours make a day, right? So how do we show the time? We show the time. There are two major ways, right? 24-hour clock, the time is shown as many hours and minutes since midnight. Midnight is 00 hour, okay, or 12 AM. With AM, PM, we make it 12. 24 is total hours. We call it 12 hours as AM, other 12 as PM. The day is split into 12 hours running from midnight to noon. They are called AM hours. And other 12 hours running from noon to midnight, PM hours. There are 2 hours. Which one is AM? Which one is PM? Look, from here, 00 hours. There are 23 colon 59th minute, right? So here it is 000. But what we call 12 AM. Then comes, here it is 3 AM. 3 hours, 3 AM. This half till midday, noon. Midday means where the sun is bright. Till that we call it AM. 6 AM, 6 hours, 6 AM. 9 hours, 9 AM. 12 hours. When you say 12 hours, it is midday, okay? Afternoon. This is 12 AM. 12 o'clock, because 12 is in exact drawing point, but still we call it 12 AM. From 12:01 onwards we call PM. 12:01 PM. Right? PM. 12:01 PM, 3 PM, 6 PM. But what we call here? 12 plus 3 is 15 hours. But we start counting once again. 1, 2, 3. 3 PM is 15 hours. 18 hours is 6 PM. 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? 6 PM means evening. Okay, 18 hours. Then 21 hours is 18 plus 3 is 21 hours. But in railway we call it 21 hours. But here 6 plus 3 is 9 PM. Then midnight we call it 0 hours. 00. We call it 12 PM. This we call it 12 AM. This one we call it 12 PM. 12 midnight. Okay. Here is midnight. Once again this 12 is connected here. Okay. Clearly. Is it clear? So what is AM? AM is definition is anti-meridiem. Meridium or meridian. Okay. You can say anything. Meridium or meridian. Latin. It is derived from the word Latin word. It is before midday. When midnight to noon is called AM. 00 to 11:59 is AM. 12 to 23:59. Look, 12 is PM. 11 until 11:59 it is AM. PM is post meridium or meridian. Latin for after midday. Noon to midnight. So in 24-hour clock you can see till 11:59 we call it AM. 12 to 23:59 we call it PM. This to this is PM. From midnight to midday it is AM. How do you convert AM to PM? Example 12 AM midnight 00. 12:35 AM is we call it 12:35 a.m. but it is called only 35 minutes. 1 a.m. to 12:59 p.m. there is no change. 11:20 a.m. is equal to 11:20 hours, 11 hours 20 minutes. 12:30 p.m. is also 12 hours 30 minutes. From 1 onwards to 11:59 p.m. we add 12 hours. For example, 4:45 p.m. we add 12 hours, we call it 16:45. Okay, 4 p.m. is called 16 hours. 5 p.m. is called 17 hours. What is 1 p.m.? 13 hours. Correct. So 11:50 p.m. is called add 12. 23:50 p.m. 23 hours 50 minutes. Same way, converting a 24-hour clock to a AM PM, what we do? Just add 12 hours, make it AM. For example, 10 we make it AM. Until 12:40, 40 is 12:40 AM. From 1 to 12:59, just make it AM, that's all. 1:15 hours is 1:15 AM. 11:25 hours, 11 hours 25 minutes is 11:25 AM. From 12 to 12:59, just make it PM. 12:10, 12:55, you got to call it PM. Okay. But from 13 onwards, you have to subtract 12 hours, make it PM. 14 means you have to subtract 12. So, how much? 12 is gone. 2:55 PM. 23:30, subtract 12. 11:30 PM. Okay. Slowly do that thing. So, here is the comparison chart. Okay. Here is a side-by-side comparison of 2 hours. An example call on hour basis. 1 hour, 1 AM, 2 hours, 2 AM. Midnight, 12 midnight, right? Look at that closely. 10 minutes, 12:10 AM, 1:10, 1:10 AM. Here is o'clock, 1 AM, 2 AM, 3 AM. Until 12, no change, 12. From 13, it becomes 1 PM. 24-hour class 14, 2 PM, 15, 3 PM, right? But here, 7:10 is 7:10 AM, 8:10 is 8:10 AM, until 12, from 12, 12:10, 12:10 PM, right? But 13:10, we call it 1:10, subtract 12. From midday till midnight, 13 is 1 PM, 14 is 2 PM. Come on, tell along. Okay, 18 is 6 PM, 19 is 7 PM, 20 is 8 PM. Likewise, 13:10 is 1:10 PM, 14:10 is 2:10 PM, 16:10 is 4:10 PM. You have to subtract 12. This is the conversion. 19:10 means 7:10 PM. 22:10 means 10:10 PM. 23:10 means 11:10 PM. 23 is 11 PM. Okay, go through it. It's very interesting. Midnight and noon, 12 AM and 12 PM can cause confusion. So we prefer 12 midnight and 12 noon. Okay, since 12 is always a confusion, when it's midnight we call 12 midnight and 12 noon. We don't say o'clock, simply 12 AM or 12 PM. 12 AM means midnight, 12 PM is noon. So we cannot make out. So we call it 12 midnight and 12 noon to avoid confusion. What day is midnight? Midnight has another problem. Beginning or ending of the day, right? So better to use 11:59 PM or 12:01 AM or 23:59 or 01 in 24-hour cars. This is the railroad, airlines, military actually do. Something you look like offer ends midnight 15, that tell them to use 1 minute before or 1 minute after. Okay, footnote. Meridium versus meridian. Anti-meridian or post-meridian. Case to an imaginary line in the sky where the sun is at the highest point. Both are correct, doesn't matter.